Hey Clasher, sneak peek number 4 for the Town Hall 15 update, and we're going to get a new spell and a new siege. So many new toys, and this is not even the last update. Let's take a look at the spell first. The Recoil Spell is going to change how we play the game, because you can now recall heroes and troops and place them again. This is just crazy. You can replace up to 90 housing space, which means heroes do count as 25 housing space, pets are 20, and then all of the troops are the regular housing space. You can do crazy stuff with this, recalling your heroes left and right and trying to get as much value as possible, but there's a lot of different other options as well. The order on how you can recall stuff is always based on, like, if there's a lot of things on the board which you can recall on the map, well, it's always the highest housing space first, and then going down from that. But even in the Phoenix ability, the timer is getting paused. So for example, if you recall the Royal Champion during the Phoenix ability, you can recall her and then place her somewhere different, and she has still the remaining seconds to fight on the other place. So that's really nice as well. The other thing we have as well is the new siege machine. The battle drill is finally here to support ground attackers. We have not had that much support for ground attacks in such a long time. You can compare this to Diggy, but as well to, for example, a miner, to the slammer. It's kind of crazy, this combination, okay? So it is going underground like a miner, it's stunning like Diggy, but it's only targeting defenses like the slammer. In addition to that, it can open walls where it's going to pop up. We're going to take a look at that in just a second in the full attack, because I will not only show you what the new things can do, the new siege and the new spell. No, I will as well give you guys really good examples what are the best use cases for this new stuff, for ground and, by the way, air attackers as well. So don't worry, I got you covered. But as well, with that being on the line, I think we should take a look at the stats overall, and, well, a little bit as well on how much it costs, because that's a big factor with this update. There is so much new stuff you have to upgrade, it's getting kind of expensive. But the cool thing about this new spell is that you can already unlock it on Town Hall 13. That's really cool. So it's not only for Town Hall 15, it's already being able to unlock it on Town Hall 13. The only thing though is you cannot get it to level 4 already. This is only for level Town Hall 15, right? The next thing, the workshop is more expensive because this is an exclusive thing for Town Hall 15. And as I said, this siege machine is going to help ground attacks quite a lot. The stats for the spell are on your screen right there. And at this point, I want to ask you, what would be the use case, how you would use this Recoil Spell? How would you do it? I will show in just a second a couple of options which I really like a lot, and I think it's really giving you something new to the attack. But I would like to hear your opinion on the new spell. How would you use it? The next thing, again, the siege machine, you can see all of the stats as well, upgrading it to level 4. It's going to be a powerhouse for hybrid, and for smash attacks, it's going to be so much fun. Let's start with the Queen Charge Hybrid, and let's use both new things, the new spell and the new siege. The new spell is going to be really situational, okay? For example, for this base, the tower is kind of exposed, it's protected by an invisibility tower, but again, I told you that every single thing has a counter, and for spell towers, you can just freeze them. So, the spell tower would trigger as soon as we're hitting the town hall, but with just freezing it, it cannot drop the invisibility. So this means the queen can take down the town hall, get the value, and as soon as my queen is about to die versus all of those ground, like X-bows, whatever is their place, you just recall it and flippity flop, we're just going in from the top. That's exactly what we do. Instead of going in from the bottom now, we're charging at the top side. So let's just charge from every single side, right? So at this point now, we have changed the flank, we're going in from the top side, the clank gas is coming over. We could now place 2 more healers, because remember, Queen 25 housing space, Unicorn 20 housing space. So we can only recall 3 additional healers if the Unicorn is not dying, for example. Really important to note. This means if the charge on the top side would be kind of heavy, we could use 2 more healers to like go up to the regular 5 healer amount. But on this one, there's so little damage that we're fine with that. Now we're starting with our hybrid, which means we have the king in, we have the new siege machine in, and the new siege machine now is opening so many walls. It's so crazy, it's so good to get your king as well into the base, to get the perfect pathing for your hybrid. Because take a look at that now. With those new pets, those combinations are really deadly, because hybrid is in general, ground is getting a huge buff with those pets, with the new siege and everything, which I think is amazing. Because air was already so strong that it did not even need a level or anything, and it's probably still going to be at the same level as ground. That's how broken air was on Town Hall 14. But now finally we have ground being back as well as an option, and this gives so many new possibilities. Take a look at that. This base is having no chance. We have a poison lizard on the warden to make sure that heroes are no big threat to us. We have the king with the frosty to make sure that on the back end everything is getting frozen, and then we have the diggy to get on the back end all of those buildings stunned. And this is just an incredible combination. You can see what an overkill this is. And everyone who thought, okay, Town Hall 15 is going to be hard, it's going to be harder, yes, but you can still easily 3-star if you get the right idea and if you know how to use your strategy right. It is so much fun. But I know not everyone out there is a ground attacker. So let's now go into the air, okay? Let's now take a look at an air strategy and how to use this new feature, how to use this new toy with the tower, with the spell. What we're doing now, using the warden ability, covering the blimp, and we're using a clone blimp. What we normally have is all of those clone troops are dying at the Town Hall poison. So instead we're recalling them before they're taking too much damage. They have triggered already off the black mines, and now we're sending them in on the left side for the air defense to snipe that out while we have the push into the core to take down the monolith. And well, then there's nothing left. That's the cool thing. We can just recall our troops at the Town Hall, protect them again, and get all of those clone loons to somewhere else to snipe an air defense, create pathing. It's totally up to you and your use case. And that's another option on how to use this new spell, which you can use for air as well. It is just a spell without... like, there is no limits. There is no limits in creativity for the spell. You can do whatever you want. And that's why I would love to hear what your use case would be for this new spell. I have to say, I think the most powerful thing I have seen so far has to be the Queen Charge, or the Royal Champion Charge works as well, by the way, with 3 healers. And then recall it as soon as you're diving into too much damage, or as soon as you got the value you need. There's a lot of options you can go for, and I just love it in general. This base is wrecked. We have like 4 Electro Dragons alive or something. The Queen is alive as well. We have not even used her ability at this point. That's how clean this attack was. And there's one more use case. For all of those blimp attackers out there, for everyone who's playing Blizzard, for everyone who's playing Super Archer blimps, watch this. Use the Warden with the blimp. Nothing special in here. Get the blimp into the core. And this one, we're using only 1 clone for the Super Archer, because we need to fit the Recoil Spell in there as well. Now, make sure that the Town Hall is going down, everything is going down. Now, as soon as your Warden is taking damage, recall the Warden. Yes, we don't have a Warden ability anymore, but remember, Warden is not only good for his ability. The Warden aura is giving, if nothing has changed, 575 hit points to every troop surrounded. If this 575 HP is, well, the 90%, which is getting the bonus overall. Which means we have now 21 loons. 21 loons who are having additional around about 600 hit points. Which is crazy, and that is pretty much for the cost of 2 spell housing space, if you know what I mean. Setting down our heroes, and now we can play the ladder from the top side. You can do this, by the way, as well with dragons, dragon riders, electro dragons. It's totally up to you what you combine this with, but Warden blimps are really fun now because you can recall the Warden and still use the Warden aura for your second part. You can do mass Hog Riders off of this. It's totally fine. Well, then you might use the Blizzard because that's less spell. I mean, at this point we have only 1 freeze, okay? So you cannot do that much with your Hog Riders then. But the options are endless, okay? We have endless options with this spell. And you can see this is just super clean. We have the Royal Champ doing some nice work. And in addition, if the Royal Champ just dies, no problem. The Royal Champ is going to get revived, and we get a new Phoenix as well to make sure that this push is even stronger. And that's it. Those are the top 3 use cases for me, which I have found so far with this spell. But the cool thing about this spell, I feel like when millions and millions of players are trying it out, there's going to be so crazy ideas from you guys. I'm really looking forward to that. So let me know, how would you use the new spell? I know I mainly focus on the new spell and not on the new siege. The siege, I feel like it's really, the use cases are kind of given. Queen Charge, Hybrid, Hawk attacks for example in general, or Smash attacks are a really obvious choice for this new siege, but the new spell, to me, that's the crazy one. And as I said in the beginning, this was not even the last sneak peek. We're going to see us back tomorrow with this next sneak peek, and trust me, it's going to be shocking. But let's see us then. Until then, see ya, and bye bye.